Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Mandy Reinig. I'm the director of the Study Away program here at Virginia Wesleyan University. And this is a series of interviews with faculty who lead programs here at Virginia Wesleyan. And I'm very happy to welcome Dr. Terry Lindvall as a part of our series. And I just have a series of questions to ask our faculty about their programs. Dr. Lindvall, my first question for you is, what is the title of your course, the location, and when did you first start taking students on this course?
The course has evolved over time. It first started as a course on C.S. Lewis in Oxford, but we found out with professors like Ben Haller and Kelly Holzer and Ben Fraser that we could expand to J.R.R. Tolkien, to Dorothy Sayers and others. So it has become the Inklings in Oxford. And about 10 years ago, I took our first students, including a former volleyball star, Kayla Guy Herman, who is still around the campus. And so it's been wonderful to see this fellowship of students grow over time, all associated with Oxford.
That's great. All right, my next question is, what are some of the can't miss items and sites on your course itinerary?
Generally, students look forward to going to the Eagle and Child, where C.S. Lewis and Tolkien and Charles Williams would gather and drink their pints and read their literature. But there are 39 different colleges of Oxford University, and each one is so unique and so eccentric. In fact, they're so quirky. There's a wonderful book from the great bookstore there on Broad Street called Blackwell's called Eccentric Oxford. And here is where you learn about spoonerisms, the origin of spoonerisms, or the dodo bird. All of these kinds of creatures begin to pop up and interrupt and surprise you at your stay in Oxford.
Do you manage to get to all 39 colleges?
No, we don't get to all 39. In fact, we do select key colleges. For example, there are J.R.R. Tolkien's Merton College. And then if you go to Christ Church College, which is where Harry Potter was filmed in the great dining hall, but it's also just a magnificent place. And then C.S. Lewis's Magdalen College, where we take a walk down Addison's Walk, this wonderful kind of pathway about a mile around this little island where you have all of the deer that are sometimes sacrificed to give their lives for a venison dinner for all of the fellows at the college when one retires. And so we take this wonderful kind of picturesque walk around Magdalen College. So we go to a select few, but then students can also kind of sneak off and find the colleges of Jonathan Swift for Hertford College, or Lewis Carroll, which we mentioned, Christ Church, or Dr. Seuss at Lincoln College. And the Wesley Brothers, we've got to mention the Wesley Brothers, and all of them are around there. And so you can go to any college you want to once we go to the main ones.
That's great. Sounds like quite an adventure. All right, my next question is, can you tell me about a memorable experience from one of your past courses?
One of the most memorable experiences we always have is when we walk from the center of Oxford, from the Bodleian Library or one of these Radcliffe camera, when we begin to walk from there all the way up through Port Meadow. And Port Meadow is this wonderful kind of delightful walk where you pass by the Thames and you have the Godstow Nunnery ruins, you have cows, you have so many famous things going, and we walk all the way up several kilometers to the Trout Inn. And the Trout Inn is where we get to eat fish like this. I mean, it's amazing what we can do. And we sit up there and we have our pints and we sit on the river. Generally we walk, but sometimes we have taken a barge through the waterways, and it's just delightful. And on the barge is very much like Lewis Carroll and George MacDonald's daughters would float up that river and tell stories of Alice in Wonderland. And we can go to the Binsey Chapel or the Percy Inn and Perch Inn, and all of these places we begin to tell stories with one another.
That's great. And what will students learn by participating in this course?
I think one of the things that students learn by taking this course is how to see the soil of ideas, how to find how location enhances learning. It is when you are at the places where Kenneth Grahame wrote Wind in the Willows that you begin to feel the kind of the characters of Rat and Mole and Badger and Mr. Toad, and even take a wild ride along with him. but you go to the places where the imagination was sparked. There is a tablet that looks like the stone tablet from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Or there are places where you see that Tolkien had his favorite tree, and Treebird may have come into existence. And so your imagination moves beyond just rote learning, and you get to live the literature that is there, where you get to eat the meals with them. You eat beef in the Mitre restaurant, or you read in the Wesley rooms. All of these things kind of enhance what you are studying.
That's great. And my last question, or my last statement is, please finish this sentence. I lead study away courses because...
I lead study away courses because when one truly enjoys a place, a book, a meadow, a meal, a moment, one wants to share it. And I think one of the great experiences of teaching is sharing what you love and enjoy. And having tasted joy and laughter and thought and God in Oxford, I want to share that. And we become, in one sense, a fellowship of the ring, or we become like Chaucer's pilgrims. The friendship and the fellowship that happens is when you learn ensemble. You become a group of friends who are learning and teaching one another. And so it's the sharing in a place that is so unique. And you stay at Oxford for over a week, and staying there, you get to know the place. And when you get to know the place, you begin to sense the history and the people and the characters, and your own life is enhanced so much.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Dr. Lindvall, for sharing about your course, and we hope any interested students reach out to you, and we'll definitely put your contact information at the end of this interview. And thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you, Mandy.